The Denver Broncos have been making some interesting moves lately, and there's a lot to cover in this video. Before we get into it, we just wanted to share how excited we are for the upcoming Monday Night Football game in Week 13. The Broncos are facing the Cleveland Browns, and there's a lot of buzz surrounding this matchup. We've seen some significant roster moves recently, including the return of a familiar face in Calvin Throckmorton, and the energy around the team is electric. But that's not all we're diving into today. We're also going to talk about the Broncos' history with Thanksgiving Day games, how the culture around the team is shifting, and why Denver is becoming a top destination for free agents. Plus, we'll take a look at the promising future ahead with stars like Bo Nix and the leadership of Coach Sean Payton. Trust me, there's plenty to get excited about, so stick with us as we break it all down. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. It wasn't too long ago that Calvin Throckmorton was released by the Broncos, but he's back with the team, having returned to the practice squad. It's a quick turnaround, and you may be wondering, what led to this move? Well, the Broncos have had some players coming back from injury, like Drew Sanders and Josh Reynolds, and Throckmorton's return seems to fit into that shuffle. With the team looking to solidify its roster depth, his versatility on the offensive line gives them some much-needed flexibility. But that's not all. The Broncos have other players to keep an eye on, like linebackers Quan Alexander and Zach Cunningham, who could be promoted in the near future. Both are solid players who bring depth to the defense, and it'll be interesting to see how the Broncos coaching staff handles their roles as the season progresses. As we get closer to the final stretch, every move matters, and adding experienced players to the mix can make all the difference. Speaking of changes and traditions, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. The Broncos have played in 11 Thanksgiving Day games throughout their history, with a 4-7 record in those contests. It's been 15 years since their last appearance on Turkey Day, which makes this history feel like a distant memory. However, as we look toward the future, it's clear that the Broncos are making strides to become a team that people will be watching not just on Thanksgiving, but all year long. It's kind of wild to think about the gap since their last Thanksgiving game, but with the way this team is building momentum, we can only hope that the Broncos will be back on that stage sooner rather than later. With their growing roster and potential playoff aspirations, the Broncos might be positioning themselves for a spot in the spotlight in the very near future. Now, if you've been paying attention to the buzz surrounding the Broncos, you've probably noticed something exciting happening around the team. The culture in Denver is shifting, and it's getting noticed by some pretty big names in the NFL. Guys like Pat McAfee and J.J. Watt have spoken highly of the Broncos and their trajectory, especially with the team's impressive young talent and clear potential moving forward. J.J. Watt, in particular, made waves with his comments about Denver becoming a future free agent destination. With cap space to work with, an exciting core of young players, and the potential to build something special around Russell Wilson's contract, the Broncos are quickly positioning themselves as a team that can attract top-tier talent. It's been a while since Denver was considered a prime free agent destination, but the tide is definitely turning, and the excitement surrounding this team is palpable. It's not just about what's happening on the field, either. Denver's recent investments in a new practice facility are a clear sign that the team is serious about building for the future. Add to that the appeal of living in a city like Denver, where the mountains meet the city skyline, and players can enjoy the benefits of a growing sports culture. And it's easy to see why the Broncos are becoming a top choice for free agents. As the franchise moves forward, expect to see more high-profile players considering Denver as a destination, which only bodes well for the team's future success. Speaking of that growing appeal, the Broncos' new practice facility is a game-changer. For players who are considering their next move, this state-of-the-art facility offers the kind of top-tier resources that players crave. It's not just a place to train, it's a place where athletes can develop and take their game to the next level. And when you think about the young talent that's already in Denver, guys like Bo Nix, Jonah Ellis, and Riley Moss, it's easy to see how this facility is going to be a big part of the team's future success. One of the biggest reasons for the Broncos' positive momentum is their draft success. General Manager George Payton has done an excellent job of bringing in talent that can make an immediate impact. Much credit also goes to David Shaw, who has stepped into a key role in the team's talent acquisition process. With a sharp eye for identifying potential stars, Shaw's influence is already being felt in Denver's scouting efforts. This year's rookie class has been impressive, with players like Jonah Ellis, Devon Vale, Riley Moss, Quinn Miners, and Jonathan Cooper, stepping up and proving their worth. These guys are not just filling roster spots, They're making real contributions to the team's success. And it's not just about the high-profile picks. The Broncos are finding talent in unexpected places, which speaks to the team's ability to evaluate and draft wisely. As we look at these rookies and their early contributions, it's clear that the Broncos are building something special from the ground up. Their ability to develop young talent will be crucial as they continue to build toward long-term success. With a solid draft track record and a commitment to player development, the Broncos' future is in good hands. Speaking of the future, let's talk about Bo Nix. The young quarterback has been nothing short of impressive, and his breakout performances have solidified him as one of the most exciting prospects in the NFL right now. When you compare him to guys like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, it's clear that Bo Nix has the potential to be among the league's elite quarterbacks for years to come. What makes Bo stand out is not just his physical talent, but his mindset. He's got that rare combination of skill, intelligence, and leadership that you can't teach. He's already proven that he can handle the pressure of big moments, and it's only a matter of time before he becomes one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Broncos fans should be excited about what the future holds with Bo Nix leading the way. Of course, none of this would be possible without the leadership of Coach Sean Payton. Payton's impact on this team has been undeniable, especially when it comes to evaluating talent. His bold confidence in quarterback assessments has reshaped the Broncos' future, and his belief in Bo Nix is a big part of that. Payton's ability to recognize talent, develop players, and instill a winning mentality has been a breath of fresh air for this franchise. He's not afraid to make tough decisions, and he's shown time and time again that he's got the vision to lead the Broncos to success. As we look at the trajectory of this team, it's clear that Payton's leadership will be key to the Broncos' sustained success moving forward. One of the things that stands out about this Broncos team is their camaraderie and youthful energy. There's a sense of hunger and excitement in the locker room, and it's driving the team forward. Whether it's team events or the constant chatter about upcoming games, this group is focused on one thing: winning. Cody Barton and Pat Certain have been vocal about the team's mindset, and it's clear that the Broncos are focused on getting to the playoffs and making a deep run. They're not just playing for this season, they're playing for the future, and they've got the confidence to back it up. The Broncos' young core is hungry, and they're ready to show the world what they're made of. Looking ahead, the Broncos have their sights set on their Week 13 matchup against the Cleveland Browns. It's going to be a tough game, and the Broncos will need to bring their A-game to get the win. One player to keep an eye on is Jameis Winston. The Broncos' defense will have to be prepared to stop him and disrupt his rhythm. With Coach Payton's expertise, I'm sure they'll have a solid game plan in place. All right, Broncos country, before we wrap things up, I've got a few questions for you. First off, what do you think about Calvin Throckmorton returning to the Broncos? Do you see him as a key piece to strengthen our roster depth, or is this just a temporary move? And how confident are you in the Broncos' chances against the Browns in Week 13? Do you think the defense can shut down Jameis Winston and secure the win? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more Broncos content. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Broncos.